when it happens in your day, your week, your month, or even your year, but I'll be there for you.
If you lose your feathers, it doesn't mean you should hide your shine. These two birds will agree.
Every time music comes on, chicken just dances. It doesn't matter what. I could even just start singing and she'll start dancing. I was just working around in my room, kind of cleaning. And I looked over and she was just kind of like doing this to the music. So I walked over and I started doing it with her. And the more I did it, the more she was just full on dancing.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/show.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/show.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials: YouTube, Facebook, Getter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Nico Nico, Pinterest, Reddit, Substack, Telegram, Threads, TikTok, Truth Social, Tumblr, VK, and X, previously known as Twitter, in multiple languages by searching Supreme Master TV.
While doing nothing, our brain is certainly not idling. It's like a tireless machine constantly working on a world forecast. The default mode network builds this forecast, which integrates the information you take in through your senses with a massive existing model in your head based on everything you've experienced throughout your life. Insights into brain activity during rest. Please continue watching to find out more.
Now we've lost everything. We've lost all that we had because we are on the wrong path by eating animals. The Reverend Father Peter Win Vun Tung, vegan.
Currently, JB is with me at my house. Of course, he was too little to go out to our center. This is the first beaver that I have rehabilitated, and I just could not believe how soft he is.
But JB still needed to learn how to be a beaver.
They need to be in water, clean water, at least 4 or 5 times a day. First few times he was getting in a tub, he only wanted to be in there for a couple of minutes. I made sure it was shallow enough for his feet to reach the bottom.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Wait for mommy.
Teravatola. That's how friendly Kaven residents convey their heartfelt greetings when you visit their serene land. It means welcome in the Kaven language, spoken by this community in northern Norway. My name is Morton. When we express gratitude sincerely, it radiates loving energy, uplifting the surrounding atmosphere. The Kaven people enjoy knowing someone as grateful and compassionate as you. May the Divine Spirit bestow blessings upon all.
The most powerful daily prayer for any time and before meditation, which is the order from God, and Supreme Master Ching Hai shares with us by His blessed grace.
We humbly worship, praise, thank, obey, and love God Almighty, the Most High, the greatest, for world vegan, world peace, and our soul liberation. We thank, love, praise the only Son of God, who is the ultimate Master for our salvation. We follow the teaching of all the saints and sages. We thank, love, and praise them, who are the representatives of God for our spiritual elevation.
In today's show, Insights into Brain Activity During Rest, we will examine what our brain does when we are at rest and how rest and meditation benefit our brain. The human brain is a fantastic organ. It is the control center of our body, managing all the information and responding accordingly. Even when we are at rest, the brain is not taking a nap. Instead, it's still working and even working harder than we think. Our brains do amazing things when we are resting. But what exactly is the brain doing? First, we need to know how scientists measure the brain's activity. The neurons in our brain use action potentials to send and receive signals along with chemical compounds. These small electrical currents are then detected by our equipment, which becomes spikes in waves that map the brain's activity.
When someone is daydreaming or just not doing anything, our brains show consistent activity in certain regions. Some studies suggest as much as 45% of our time is spent daydreaming. These areas together are called the default mode network, or DMN.
Studies have found that the so-called task-negative areas are active while our body is not doing anything. Later, the neuroscientists gave it a more official name, default mode network, known as DMN. Moreover, scientists have found that the DMN areas are associated with mind wandering, remembering past experiences, thinking about others, mental states, envisioning the future, and processing language.
The human brain is said to be the most mysterious and complex thing in the universe. How do we perceive the world around us? How do we remember our past experiences and imagine the future?
While doing nothing, our brain is certainly not idling. It's like a tireless machine, constantly working on a world forecast. The default mode network builds this forecast, which integrates the information you take in through your senses with a massive existing model in your head based on everything you've experienced throughout your life. This ongoing prediction business allows us to perform complex actions without consciously thinking about every step. Imagine getting dressed in the morning. You don't have to plan how to move each muscle. Your brain has already predicted and programmed the sequence based on past experiences. This prediction model is constantly being refined. Scientists are still unraveling the mysteries of the default mode network and how it organizes itself. They're using various tools, including brain imaging, electrical recordings, and even studying how the brain uses energy to understand how this non-conscious process underpins everything we do. Our brains can do some pretty amazing things, even when resting. The significant factor is sleep itself. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's an essential period for brain rejuvenation and optimization. While we drift off to dreamland, our brains are wide awake, performing critical tasks like memory consolidation, waste removal, and cellular repair. During deep sleep stages, the brain strengthens connections between cells, a process called brain plasticity, which allows us to learn and retain new information. When sleep deprived, our brains struggle to perform these tasks effectively, hindering our ability to learn and remember. Imagine cramming for a test all night. Your brain just can't file away information as efficiently. Recent research suggests sleep acts like a brain cleanse. While we slumber, the brain's lymphatic system goes into overdrive, flushing out waste products that build up during waking hours. These waste products can impair brain function, so a good night's sleep is like hitting the refresh button for your brain.
There
There are 4 stages of sleep that the body experiences and cycles throughout the night. Stages 1 and 2 are light sleep. This is a transition from being awake to falling asleep. Stage 3 is sometimes referred to as delta sleep because of the slow delta brainwaves that are released during this stage. This is the first stage of deep sleep, where our cells produce the most growth hormone to service bones and muscles, allowing the body to repair itself. Stage 4 is where we begin to dream. The body creates chemicals that render it temporarily paralyzed, so that we do not act out our dreams. In this stage, the brain is extremely active, and our eyes, although closed, dart back and forth as if we were awake.
Sleep patterns and brain activity change throughout life. Older adults often experience earlier sleep schedules, lighter sleep, and difficulty adjusting to disruptions. These changes are part of a lifelong shift. Infants prioritize rapid eye movement, REM, sleep for brain development. Children have a deeper sleep for growth, and adults see a decrease in deep sleep, impacting memory and health. Optimizing sleep and brain functions at all ages, prioritizing good sleep habits, and addressing any sleep disorders are essential. Understanding and caring for our brains is crucial to prevent mental health issues. While many factors influence cognitive health, recent research explores the intriguing role of the default mode network, DMN. Reduced activity in the DMN coincides with memory loss, a hallmark symptom of Alzheimer's. Some studies even suggest the network's decline might precede noticeable symptoms, potentially offering an early detection window. Research indicates an overactive DMN in individuals with schizophrenia. This hyperactivity might make it difficult to switch focus away from internal thoughts, contributing to symptoms like hallucinations. In attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, a typical DMN connectivity is linked to distractibility. Increased activity in this network might disrupt the brain networks responsible for attention and focus.
Vegan, winning without bloodshed.
We're going to take a moment now to enjoy a stroll and listen to the bird people singing. We'll be right back with more on Supreme Master Television.
I became a member of the family.
Instantly, there was a bond between my daughter and parrot. She named him as Big Bird and we started calling him as Big Bee. And it feels so good to know that he accepts us as a family. We wish to have him with us forever.
Welcome back to our show, Insights into Brain Activity During Rest. Now let's explore the impact of activities such as daydreaming and meditation, which may seem counterintuitive as they involve rest. It might surprise you that daydreaming, which is often perceived as unproductive or a sign of inattentiveness, actually has significant benefits for our lives. Allowing our minds to wander freely can be a form of mental break, similar to meditation. This helps us relax and detach from worries, lowering stress and anxiety. When we get stuck on a problem, daydreaming can provide a fresh perspective. It allows our minds to access different brain areas and make unexpected connections, leading to creative solutions. So, while daydreaming looks like simply spacing out, It's a valuable tool for our mental well-being, creativity, and goal achievement. Like daydreaming, mindfulness meditation is a powerful way to train your mind and improve your overall well-being. Mindfulness meditation involves focusing your attention on the present moment without judgment. There's emerging evidence that meditation might be linked to neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt throughout life. Studies using brain imaging show changes in brain connectivity for meditators compared to non-meditators. Notably, some studies observed increased activity in the hippocampus, a region crucial for memory in experienced meditators. This is particularly interesting because the hippocampus is one of the first areas affected by Alzheimer's disease. While more research is needed, these findings suggest meditation could play a role in preventing cognitive decline as we age. Understanding how our brains function at rest is no longer just a matter of scientific curiosity. Research into resting brain activity has led to practical applications that improve people's lives. Dr. Gail Desbordes, a researcher at Massachusetts General Hospital, specializing in probing mindfulness meditation's effect on depression, began meditating when she was a graduate student, seeking respite from the stress and frustration of academic life. Her experience inspired her to study closely how meditation influences one's brain, hoping to shed enough light to underpin therapy that might help others. In a 2012 study led by Dr. Desbordes, it was discovered that different forms of meditation could have distinct effects on brain structure, particularly on the amygdala, a region crucial for emotion processing, stress or strain. Participants who underwent an 8-week meditation program exhibited changes in brain function, even when not actively meditating. Those practicing mindful attention meditation showed a reduced amygdala activation in response to emotional stimuli, indicating improved emotional stability and stress response. Meanwhile, the compassion meditation group participants demonstrated increased amygdala response to negative images, suggesting enhanced empathy and compassion. These findings suggest that meditation can lead to lasting, beneficial changes in brain function, particularly in the emotional processing.
The idea behind mindfulness-based cognitive therapy is that by training people in mindfulness meditation, we increase their capacity for interoception and for being able to listen to their body, so to speak, and to drop in the body. And that will actually help them disengage from this cognitive rumination with negative thoughts about the self. We're testing this hypothesis in the brain by looking at the brain networks that are involved and having people do specific tasks in the scanner to test if they engage in these tasks differently after having received the mindfulness training. The purpose of this research is to find out the mechanisms of mindfulness training in the brain, and from that information, hopefully make some changes to the intervention that take those mechanisms into account. For example, doing more of certain types of practices if we think these are the ones that are key, and perhaps doing less of other aspects of the mindfulness training if science finds that these elements don't actually have so much of an impact.
Be Veg Now. The planet exists before me or you. The animals populate when we not even know. We are just the invaders of their wonder home. So have respect and leave them alone.
The human brain is a complex organ whose functioning is influenced by various factors, such as genetics and age. The default mode network, DMN, is a critical component of the brain that plays a crucial role in regulating several cognitive processes. Research and advancements in spatial resolution have facilitated the efficient analysis of the brain, which has led to an enhanced understanding of the DMN's function in maintaining a healthy brain. There are several tips you can follow. Regular naps can help you relax your mind and improve the DMN's functioning, allowing unnecessary information to be cleared and your thoughts to be organized. Engaging in physical exercise is another effective way to boost the DMN's function. Practicing positive daydreaming or meditation can also help stimulate the DMN.
Vegan, because there's no good reason not to be.
Peaceful viewers, thank you for joining us today on Insights into Brain Activity During Rest. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for The Preciousness of the Human Body, Part 2 of 8 on Between Master and Disciples. May you and your loved ones always be guided by the wisdom of the divine.
Being vegan, having peace, heaven, Godspeed.